Am I the a-hole for screaming at my husband for bringing a puppy home after my 11-year-old dog just died? My German Shepherd dog Roxy recently passed away at 11 years old. Towards the end I was carrying her from room to room and one morning I woke up to find that she had passed away during her sleep. Even though I knew that she was getting old and eventually she would die, her death hit me extremely hard. I cried for days and depression took over my life. I still worked, went to the gym, etc., but I sometimes would forget to eat or shower in the morning and my husband would make sure to remind me. I became visibly skinnier but I still managed to show myself as happy and full of life when I went out with my friends or just went out in general. They did ask me if I was okay because I had just lost my dog, but I would always put a smile on and reply with I'm okay because I know she's up in dog heaven or something similar. Only my husband saw my depressive side and he was concerned all the time and tried to cheer me up by using his great sense of humor, one of the best qualities about him. He even brought over a 7-week-old German Shepherd puppy who looked exactly like how Roxy did when she was 2 months old from one of his friends whose female dog had given birth 7 weeks ago, and he must have seen the joy on my face when I played and cuddled with the puppy. Roxy passed away 3 weeks ago and the visit from the puppy was 1.5 weeks ago. 4 days ago I went on a 2-day work trip. When I returned home, I was greeted by the same puppy that my husband had brought 8 days ago. My husband came to me with a huge smile on his face and asked how was my trip and everything. All I could focus on was the puppy and I asked him what was the puppy doing here? He smiled even more and said that he saw how much I loved the puppy so he bought her for $5,600 at a discount from his friend as a present to me. I immediately asked him why would you do this? You know I'm not over Roxy, but you wanted to bring another puppy like Roxy can just be replaced like that? And I went to the bedroom and slammed the door and burst into tears. The puppy had followed me but I had closed the door before she could come in and she was scratching the door. My husband told me that he was sorry but he thought this is what I wanted. I yelled at him that he should have asked me first and to just leave me alone. I know that his intentions were good and he wanted me to be happy, but I loved Roxy like she was my daughter. I've had her since I was in high school and she's been my rock and support throughout every hardship. She was also my protector who saved me from possible dangers, specifically from men. Even though she was a female dog, she was still very frightening when in attack mode and her protection work was top-notch. I was still grieving and wasn't ready to connect with another dog. The next day I told my husband that I was sorry for my breakdown and that I was just still going through the grieving process. He forgave me, but he is still visibly upset at me. I wanted him to return the puppy but I feel so guilty for yelling at him and that he spent so much money that I decided to keep the puppy. So I kept the puppy, but not out of guilt. Someone mentioned that the same thing happened to them but the new puppy was able to help them through the grieving process and that's exactly what is happening. The new puppy has brought me so much joy and love over the past few days and because she looks exactly like Roxy did when she was the same age, it's like reliving Roxy's puppyhood and being given a second opportunity to furnish her with the same amount of love. I wanted to name her Roxy but I decided to go with Althea which means healing and I think it's the perfect name for her. I have apologized to my husband again for yelling at him and reacting the way I did when he meant well. He said that he understood that I was grieving and that dogs can't be replaced like cars, that he should have consulted with me first before bringing in a live puppy that requires a colossal amount of care.